What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So today I have right here both the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 as well as the Galaxy Z Flip 3. And I want to compare the two devices. So for example, if you have the Z Flip 3, should you make the upgrade to the Z Flip 4? I'm going to answer those types of questions in this video. But before I do dive right in, I want to quickly talk about the wallpaper that you see right here on these two devices. This is my latest wallpaper pack. It's called Harlequin. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below if you want to take a look, as well as the other papers I have on my page. And if you want to support the channel, take a look. Link will be in the description down below. But without further delay, let's dive right in. Starting off with design, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 is a more refined version of the Flip 3. It's sturdier, feels better in the hand, it's just more solid overall. So when we take a look at the Flip 4, it's squared off, whereas the Flip 3 is not. Let's put it that way. And that's one of the improvements Samsung made with the Flip 4. It's kind of more squared off around the entire phone. It just feels better to use in the hand. Another thing right here is the hinge. So the hinge on the Flip 4 just protrudes less than the Flip 3 if you look really closely. There is that. And overall, using the Flip 4, it definitely feels sturdier when I'm folding in and out. And the Flip 3, it just feels really easy to fold. Whereas the Flip 4, I kind of need to put a little bit more pressure to fold the Flip 4. So there is that. Another difference is the fact that you can tell the Flip 3 right here is really dirty because it's a glossy finish, matte sides with a glossy finish. Whereas the Flip 4 kind of went the exact opposite, a matte finish right here, same display size with a glossy finish on the sides. I kind of wish it was matte all the way around, but I guess that'll do. I mean, it's not going to attract as much fingerprints because when you look at the back of the phone, it's a matte finish, so that really does feel good. And this is one of Samsung's new colors for the Z Flip 4. They don't have the green anymore, unless you want to go bespoke edition, then there is that too. So just taking a look, it definitely, right here, there is more of this back cover right here than there is on the Flip 3, and that is because of part of the hinge. Now when we fold open both of the devices, let's go like that, fingerprint sensor, there you go. It is a little bit thinner. The displays are a little bit thinner on the Flip 4, and I actually put it right here, compared to the Galaxy Z Flip 3. The crease is still present on both of these devices. So if you're asking what about the crease, is it the same? Yes, it's more so the same, but for some reason, maybe it's just my mind telling me this, but I feel like the crease is less noticeable on the Flip 4 than the Flip 3. And I think the more you start to use a foldable and the more you fold it, then slowly over time the crease does become more visible. So that could be a case because I have been using the Z Flip 3 ever since its launch last year in 2021. So there is that too. But otherwise, displays, they're both Samsung panels, they're both amazing. Same screen size, 6.7 inch, but you can just feel that the Flip 4 feels just a little bit more thinner all the way around, and I absolutely love it. So there is that. Everything else is the same. Fingerprint sensor on the side of the power button. And then you got the volume buttons on the top. You have your antennas right here on the side, SIM card tray slot. Same setup with the Flip 3, really no change at all. I just like how the Flip 4 is more squared off and there's a magnet there. They both have wireless charging too, so there is that plus. But design-wise, it's a refined design. So if you want to pick up the Flip 4 just because of its refined design, then go for it. But if you have a Flip 3, there's really no need to, pick it up because of its refined design, because I still think the Flip 3 has an amazing design. So it's really up to you, personal preference. I personally prefer the refined design with the Flip 4, but again, if you have a Flip 3, no need to upgrade to Flip 4. So this next one is going to be fairly quick, and that's going to be software and performance. They perform the same. They both run Samsung's One UI, currently running Android 12 on both of them. They're going to get 4 years of software updates. However, Samsung's Flip 3 already got 1 year major software upgrade, so it's going to get 3 more years. So Android 13, 14, and 15, whereas the Flip 4, you're going to get Android 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now the question is, how will they hold up in 3 to 4 years' time? That I don't know. We'll see in 3 to 4 years. So if you want to see kind of a 3-4 year later video, let me know in the comments down below. But we don't even know what's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 years. Performance-wise, they've both been great. The Snapdragon 888 chipset on the Z Flip 3 and the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 on the Flip 4. They've been smooth. We've been getting more incremental upgrades with chipsets each and every year. They haven't been as drastic as they were like 10, 12 years ago, where each generation was a huge leap. Now it's just become a little less of a huge leap and more of an incremental. But I still see the improvements with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 on the Galaxy Z Flip 4 when compared to the Flip 3. From watching YouTube videos, which I do quite often, to playing Call of Duty, to browsing the web, they both get the job done, but I slightly feel that improvement with the 8 Plus Gen 1 on the Flip 4, so that's a good plus as well. Is it a reason why I should upgrade, or why you should upgrade from the Flip 3 to the Flip 4? No, it's not, because this also does get the job done. Both of these devices have 8 gigs of RAM. Z Flip 3, mine right here, has 120 gigs of storage, and you can pick up a 256 gig variant for the Flip 3. Whereas a great thing here is Samsung has 256 gigs as well as a 512 gig variant for the Z Flip 4 if 256 gigs ain't cutting it. I right here, since I pre-ordered, have the 256 gig variant, so that's also a plus. More storage, better it is. However, I could have made use with 128 gigs of storage too. But that's really, performance. There's no need to dive into the main thing because they're both Samsung devices. They both run One UI. If you're making the switch from Flip 3 to Flip 4, really the same exact thing. Use Samsung switch, you replicate everything to the Flip 4, and you're all set to go. But in overall performance, you're going to see slightly, faster speeds with the Flip 4, but it's nothing like, oh, I should make the switch just because of a Snapdragon Plus 8 Gen 1. No, you shouldn't, but there is that. And one thing I want to address is kind of the heat issues that we have. I've been getting a couple comments asking me why I don't address those. They both get hot to the touch. Actually, all the phones that I use do get warm to the touch, but the Z Flip 3 does get a little bit warmer. I mean, it heats up pretty quickly. Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, it does get a little warm too, not as warm as the Flip 3. And the reason why I think the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 or the Z Flip 4 is getting warm to the touch is probably because it's still kind of learning how I use the device. The Flip 4 itself is kind of learning how I use it. So it's still learning things, and maybe it might get warm to the touch because of that. I'm not sure, but it definitely does not get as hot as it does with the Z Flip 3. And that really does drain the battery life, and I'm going to be getting to that very soon. That brings me to camera. So the main improvements here are the lenses themselves, the sensors. They protrude a little bit on the Z Flip 4 when compared to the Flip 3. And that means the sensors are able to take in more light, which helps with normal daytime photos as well as night photos. I'm going to be putting up some sample photos. But the cameras on the Flip 3 and Flip 4 shouldn't be like a reason why you pick up either of these devices. They're not flagship. They don't have the latest and greatest camera tech. They're not the S22 Ultras or the Pixel 6 or let's say 7s of the world, or the iPhone 13 or 14s of the world. But in day-to-day use, they're going to get the job done. I haven't had any issue with it. I'm not a big camera guy for when I use my phone, so I'm not too nitpicky. However, I do like to see good camera quality, and I notice when I see good camera quality on a smartphone, these perform good. They perform good, but if you really want to pick up the latest and greatest, I wouldn't recommend either one. Now, that being said, is it a reason for me to pick up the Flip 4 over the Flip 3 because of these camera improvements? No, it's not. It's definitely not. Even with a front-facing camera improvement, it still is not worth it. Camera is not one of the biggest improvements with the Flip 4. So I would just pass on camera. We can finally talk about battery life. The biggest concern with the Flip 3. So this right here, the Galaxy Z Flip 3 had a 3,300 milliamp hour battery, and that is very low. Very low in 2022 standards. This would not last me an entire day. I was frustrated. I was very frustrated with this device. So I addressed it in some of my videos from last year and even this year. And I said, I hope Samsung listens and brings a bigger battery. And it wasn't just me. A lot of people wanted a larger battery in the Flip 4. So Samsung listened. We got it. We have a 17% larger battery, 3,700 milliamp hours to be exact on the Galaxy Z Flip 4. And with battery efficient, or with the chipset efficiency of the Snapdragon Plus 8 Gen 1, it performs much better. I am able to squeeze out a full day with the Z Flip 3. In fact, yesterday, last night, or whenever you're watching this, the night before this video was recorded, I was out all day, and I came back at like 8:30, 9 p.m. to plug in my phone with like 5%, and I got a good 5.5 to 6 hours of screen on time. Don't remember the exact time right there, but it was really good. You know, I went straight to the charger, I put it on charge, but I was really happy. It lasted me throughout the entire day. If it was a Flip 3, I would have had to stop using it outside. I would have had to put it into its power energy mode, and I would not be able to use it. So that would have been a huge bummer. But with Flip 4, there's a huge improvement. The biggest improvement, in my opinion, with the Flip 4 over the Flip 3 is the battery life. You also do get faster charging speeds. I believe this one just caps out like 15 watts, whereas Galaxy Z Flip 3 or Z Flip 4, 25 watts. There you go. Faster charging speeds, and you're getting a larger battery. I think you're all set to go with the Flip 4. Again, the question is this a reason why I should upgrade to the Galaxy Z Flip 4 over the Flip 3? Yes and no. Yes and no. If battery life is not a concern for you, no need to upgrade. Really isn't any need to upgrade. However, if battery life is a concern for you, but you love the Flip 3, I would say pick up the Flip 4. You're going to see the improvements. The same question will come to iPhone 12 mini and 13 mini users. Should I upgrade to the iPhone 13 mini? And my response is, if you want a better battery life, even though it's not going to be like drastic, like 3-4 hours better, just like an hour and a half of more usage, I would say upgrade to the iPhone 13 mini. Same case here. If you want an extra hour and a half of battery life, then I would say pick up the Galaxy Z Flip 4. But if not, and you say you're perfectly fine, Z Flip 3 will continue to get the job done. All right, let's talk about price real quick. These both retail at $999, or at least when they both came out. However, obviously, since the Z Flip 4 is now out, the Flip 3 is going to be much cheaper. You will be able to find it much cheaper. I've seen it, at least before the Flip 4 came out on the market, I've seen it for about $600, so that's a really good deal. And hear me out, just wait a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and the Flip 4 will go for really low. It'll get some really good deals, and I'll continue to update the channel with these really good deals on the Galaxy Z Flip 4. But it's great to know that both of these devices, when they first came out, $999 for a foldable. I think that's great. I think there's going to be the mainstream foldable for consumers. There's going to be the mainstream foldable for consumers because of its price tag as well. When the Z Flip series first was released, I believe it was like $14.99 or something like that. And I was like, man, I just can't justify paying that price. And even though $999 is still really expensive, it definitely is cheaper than $1,500. So there is that. But my thing about price right here is I want to tell you guys, just wait a little bit. There's going to be consistent sales and deals on the Flip 3 as well as the Flip 4, more so of the Galaxy Z Flip 4. So be on the lookout. Like I said, I'll be leaving a bunch of links and comments down below, and I'll be updating in my community tab with deals on the Galaxy Z Flip 4. But for price, I think Samsung nailed it, and I hope they continue with this price tag. And as foldables become more mainstream, I hope Samsung potentially is able to decrease the price tag, the initial price tag of $999 in their future models. And my final thoughts about these two devices. I absolutely love them. That's why I have both the Galaxy Z Flip 3 and the Z Flip 4. Granted, I am trading this in for the Z Flip 4, but they've been amazing devices. They really have been amazing. This was my first foldable, the Z Flip 3, and I truly loved it, and I was really excited all year to check out the Z Flip 4. I really love these devices, and I hope Samsung continues to improve them. I truly believe that foldables are the future of smartphones, and we're slowly gonna step away from slabs of glass. If that were the case, I'm pretty sure, if it weren't the case at least, no other companies would start to dab into the foldable market. Granted, in the US, I don't really see any other foldables other than Samsung. I have never seen a Motorola Razr in person, even though they sell it here in the US. But in the next couple of years, we're going to see more foldables from major manufacturers like Apple and OnePlus and Pixel and Google, for that matter. So it's going to become more mainstream. A lot of people are going to dive into the foldable market, and they're going to be looking at their options. And I gotta say, Z Flip 4 or the Flip series is a great option for those who want a compact, foldable, and overall great smartphone. So that about wraps up this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot and will help push my content out to more people. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.